Darrell, first of all, something that Andy picked up on the other night, just wanted to talk to you about a couple of the academy players who finished the game on Tuesday as well. Jack Shorrock as well coming on for his debut. Andy made the point about, over the last 20 months you've now got to that point where those players can now come into that and there's a pathway for those players. So from the manager's point of view, just tell us about the work that's been done there and how these lads are developing.
Well, I think first and foremost you can only do that if the setup's right. And it's something that the owners and David Flitcroft have worked very hard at is in getting the academy set up right. There's still areas that we need to improve on, but from my opinion, it's a miles better led by Will, the academy manager, and there's a lot of good work happening in our academy at the minute. And the reward is that Jack gets his youngest ever. I think he's one of the youngest ever players to Port Vale to make his debut. He's been playing in the youth team, consistent in the under 18, still a young lad, but we have high hopes on him, and that's testament to the good work that's happening in the academy.
How important is it to show those lads who maybe weren't involved and are in the academy setup at the minute that there is a way to get through to the first team and have a career as a footballer?
I think it's a very important message because we want to attract the best youngsters in and around the area if we possibly can, and I think some youngsters can go into academies and not even get a look in. We want to be a club that does promote our younger players. I thought Tommy McDermott was outstanding. Planty come on the other day, he's outstanding. So we've got some good talent hopefully coming through, but the hard work starts for them now. It's okay making a debut or getting a couple of appearances, but I don't think you've made it as a pro footballer until you made 100 games. Because I think you've got to go through certain things to be able to continue being a pro footballer and working on the ability side, but the mental side of things. And 100 games are probably a good bullet point. So they've still got a lot of work to do, but it's pleasing that we're getting one or two through the ranks.
Do you, as the first team manager, how closely is your involvement now with the academy to, reflect the shape, the way that you play at senior level, so they know what they're doing? How closely are you involved?
It's very close. Speak to Will regularly. We have meetings, we have discussions. Me, Will, and Flickers. We're on the same page as a football club, and that's what you want. We want it all aligned. Carol and the owners want to make sure that it is all aligned, that everyone's as one. And when you can do that, and you work hard as a football club to do that, and you keep together in the good and the bad times, but everyone's aligned in what we're trying to achieve, it makes out for an exciting journey.
In the wider picture though, 11 changes the other night, and are you happy with the depth of your squad now? I know maybe the levels you still want to work on, as you've said before, but in terms of the selection and what you've got now, are you kind of all happy with what you've got now?
Yeah, I think I've got a talented squad that's a good age that we're going to develop and try and keep continually to try and get better each game, each training session, every day. We try and improve what we do. Within that becomes knockbacks, but we're enjoying the journey so far. We've getting one or two other key injury players back as well, which is a bonus. And competition places, as you've seen the other day, is quite high.
I'm going to butter you up a little bit now, but the players that we've spoken to have all talked about what you and Andy and the rest of the team have been doing, not just on a match day, but away from it, on the training pitch, what you do behind the scenes. So just give us a bit of an insight into your in particular role when you are helping players either come back from an injury or you're helping them develop. What is your kind of responsibility?
Listen, for me, it's first of all getting the right backroom team to the work that I want doing, and working in cohesion as a backroom team with the staff. Like I said, we've got a fantastic medical department, fantastic strength and conditioning department. First team got good, excellent coaches, and we're all aligned really. And the message is pretty clear to the players. Professionalism. It's got to be a given. Working hard every single day has to be, and then we want them to become better players. We want them to have the opportunities to show that they can be good players and keep moving the club forward, because as well as the culture and the environment spot on, the demands are even higher from myself and my staff, because we want them to become part of the journey. But there's only 3 players remaining at the club since when I took over 20 months, so that says its own story. So I'm not like a guy that waits too long. We want to keep building and building and building. And the the camaraderie in the group and the spirit in the group is going to give them the best chance to try and do that and perform on match day.
Tomorrow, and in particular as well, the next 3 games as a whole, kind of the reason why you want that group to develop and be in League One, aren't they? Because they're the kind of blue chip games, I suppose.
Yeah, they're all tough. You see how tight the table is. League One's it's a tough division. I think there's some teams up there that are miles ahead in infrastructure and budgets, obviously, but that gives you a great appetite to compete against those teams. So we've got some tough tests coming up, but we look no further than Saturday's game against Peterborough.
Last question. I think if you don't get a penalty on Saturday, you're going to equal the British football record for not getting one, which is 72 games.
Yeah, but
how do you feel about that?
Yeah, we've had 72 apologies for the penalties we should have had, so we'll brush that under the carpet and we'll not get into it. Yeah, so we've had a lot of feedback. Colin does honest feedback every game. We're not biased, so we don't just put in things we should have had this, we should have had that. We actually mark on the opposition what they should have had as well. Colin's he enjoys that side of it, but he's very, very fair, and we've had loads of apologies for the pens we should have had, so hopefully one day that might turn and we might get 72 pens on a row.
Lovely, thank you.
Cheers, mate.